Welcome to From Betrayal to Breakthrough, and here is a mini dose of Dr. Debi where I'm sharing tips, suggestions, strategies, and sometimes just motivation to have you move past your betrayal once and for all. I work with so many highly sensitives and empaths who've been betrayed, and while betrayal is painful for everyone, it's so inconceivable to the highly sensitive and empath because they can feel what someone else would feel by doing something, so they think ahead and they know how painful it would be, and very often that's the reason why they don't betray. So when it happens to them, it's mind-blowing. It's so painful. And the narcissist and the highly sensitive empath, that is the perfect storm. I actually have a chapter on that in Trust Again. But I was explaining this to one of our members yesterday, and I was saying, with a narcissist, it's sort of like they're cruising along because they're always so upset. Why are they just sort of like as if nothing happened? I'm in so much pain, and they're great. No, they're not great. Here's the way it is. It looks kind of like this. No real highs, no real lows, because they don't have that sense of empathy. They don't have empathy, or a level that you do. So they're not experiencing those deep lows, and they're not experiencing those deep highs either, because someone who needs to have their needs filled externally, there's a lack internally. Here's what happens with the highly sensitive and the empath. They're not doing this. They're doing this. They crash, and they crash hard. Here's the best part, though. Once they realize, you know what, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get through this, they start the climb and they keep going and they experience levels of peace and joy and happiness and fulfillment and everything that they never would have had that not happened. So while the narcissist is doing this, the highly sensitive, the empath, and those of you who, tend towards those things, it's that deep crash, but then it's that big high. So, while so many people say, oh my gosh, it's such a burden, feeling so deeply, it's also your superpower. So hope that helps, because I know how painful it is. And I also know you're headed for this. You just have to move through the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. This is stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. I was working with one of our newer members yesterday, and she said, well, I imagine you want to hear my story, right? And I said, well, just so I know the lowest hanging fruit that we can kind of hold on to move you forward. And she gave me this kind of surprised look. She said, it's so interesting, for years, her situation is, years already. For years, I've been going to therapy and talking about it. And talking about my story and exploring it and expanding on it and talking. I'm like, okay, well, do you feel that you've moved any more towards healing in all of that talking? She's like, no. Here's the thing. Yes, you need to unpack it, but betrayal hits you physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. All of those aspects all need to be healed. And out of the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough, if anything is going to keep you rooted, glued, and stuck in stage 3, the hardest stage to leave, it's going over your story endlessly without a plan to move forward. Now, yes, you need to unpack it, but you also need strategy to move you out of stage 3 into stage 4, into stage 5, and beyond. So if you find you're really good at your story, and you say it the same way and it generates those same emotions and you feel the same way after sharing it over and over and over again, consider what you're doing. You're solidifying that spot in stage 3. You don't want to stay there. Transformation doesn't even begin until stage 4. Stage 4 is really fun, really action-oriented, but not action-oriented around, the cheating partner and narcissists and gaslighting and all that stuff. No, it's action-oriented around what modality, what strategy, what new tool, anything to help me transform. What parts of me do I want to keep? What parts of me do I want to let go? Really fun when you get to stage 4. That's also where the downloads start to happen with ideas that you didn't have access to beforehand. So if you find you're stuck in stage 3, you don't belong there. From Hardened to Healed, my book From Hardened to Healed is just for stage 3. But either way, move forward. You deserve it. Do not stay stuck in stage 3. Move from stage 3 to stage 4 to stage 5 and beyond. Check my bio for all kinds of resources. Hope that helps. an open Q&A within the PBT Institute with me, and it's called Coffee Chats. And in the Coffee Chats, regardless of the level of membership, members get to meet with me and ask me questions. So there was a woman yesterday, and she said that she had just come from couples counseling. She was in couples counseling for a few months, and she just really didn't feel like they were getting anywhere. Now, some couples counselors are amazing, but here's what I see. We have so many people coming into the Institute where the only intention is just to make the couple, okay enough. Almost like bring it back to what it was. But what happens is the person who's been betrayed, they never feel validated. They never feel heard. They never feel understood. And there's really very little change there because there's like so much compromise on one side, so much compromise on the other side. And it just doesn't work. So here's what happens. After betrayal, there is an absolute death and destruction of the old. The old you, the old partner, the old relationship. Now with that, you could birth something beautiful, but it takes you, right? Here's what we typically see. You're so heartbroken. You're so upset. You just want it to go away. So this is what you keep doing. And this is also where repeat betrayals happen. So you're signing up for more of the same without the massive changes and transformation that's waiting for you. What you want to do is you want to heal physically, mentally, and emotionally. Now, I see it all the time. If your only intention is to be okay with this person, the person who betrayed you without that person changing, which is crazy enough, right here, here's what you wind up doing. You keep sabotaging yourself because you don't want to outgrow that person. What you want to do is take that time to figure out who you are, what you want, who you want to become, change whatever you were settling for, change those limiting beliefs that had you think you were less than, unworthy, whatever it was. Now, this person may say, I better step up my game, and we never know what's going to show up when they do, and we have a rebuild program for that. For the betrayer, they do this. You meet up again up here, and it is an entirely different relationship. But if all you do is do like, okay, whatever it is, so we're just okay together, it's more of the same. You deserve so much better than that. You deserve to do this, create a life filled with love and meaning and support and success in every area that's meaningful to you. This person can step it up to become the same. You meet up here as a power couple. That's transformation. You need the right tools, support, and the right community to move through the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. And we have all that within the PBT Institute. So join us at the PBT, as in post-betrayal transformation, thepbtinstitute.com. There's a version of you who's so confident, healthy, peaceful, and happy on the other end of your healing. And we can't wait to help you get there. We got you. Thanks for listening. And here's to your breakthrough.